The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad was released in 1988. This is directed by David Zucker. It's written by Jerry Zucker, Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Pat Proft. And we have a cast including, of course, Leslie Nielsen. And I thought this sounded like it would be good fun. And I really like Leslie Nielsen. I know it's a film that's quite popular. It's got 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb across 196,000 reviews and ratings. So generally it's very, very well received. A Metascore of 76, which is pretty incredible. All of that being said, I didn't care for the narrative, but I definitely can see that there's an audience for it. I think the comedy style will appeal to a lot of people. But I did love our protagonist. So in general, I enjoyed the experience, but I'm not going to rush to watch any more of them. I've also never seen Police Squad. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if that would enhance my experience or change my opinion. That's just worth bearing in mind. The film is about a police detective. This is Detective Frank, and he's played by Leslie Nielsen, of course. And, well, IMDb describes it quite succinctly. He must foil an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth II. And he's not the slickest or smoothest in the way that he does things. So, in theory, hilarity ensues. And I can absolutely see the comedy. I can identify many aspects that a lot of people will find funny based on their personal comedy tastes. I'm not saying I didn't find any of it amusing, but I didn't necessarily laugh at any point. So, for me, the comedy didn't work very well, but it's not that it's not a funny film. It is absolutely just a personal taste thing. Maybe if I was in a different mood, I might have found it a little bit funnier, but in general, it's certainly not my style of humour, but I can identify where the comedy is. With regards to the narrative, the pacing is good. There's a lot of variety. We go to a lot of locations. It's definitely never boring. So even though I wasn't finding it that funny, the narrative never became stale. I never felt like it wasn't going anywhere. So credit where it's due. It's a very well-written narrative. I didn't love the story, again, based on personal preference. Not really my kind of narrative for the most part, but absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I did love Leslie Nielsen's performance. I love the character. I think he was quite funny. For me, the bits that I did find a little amusing, I'd say mostly came from his character, maybe from a couple of other characters, but for the most part, I thought Leslie Nielsen was just absolutely brilliant. So for me, that really kept it more interesting than it perhaps otherwise could have been. And the other performances were great. We have O.J. Simpson, Weird Al Yankovic, George Kennedy, Priscilla, Presley. Some interesting and some quality cast there. And the characters, aside from Leslie Nielsen's character, aside from Detective Frank Drebin, are well written. They're interesting. I think they have value to add, and definitely comedy comes from the other characters as well. But for me, mostly, I'd say Leslie Nielsen was the main attraction. I guess he was the reason why I wanted to watch it to begin with, and he's why I continued watching it. Not that I would have stopped watching it, but that was definitely the appeal throughout the film. But as I said, it's a well-written narrative. It flows well. The pacing's good. There's a nice variety in the action. I can absolutely see the comedy. I can see bits that will really appeal to people depending on their comedy tastes. But for me, I didn't enjoy The Naked Gun as much as I wanted to. I'm not saying I will never watch the sequels, but I'm not going to watch them immediately. Maybe one day. I've just realised, did I know this already? I did know this. Leslie Nielsen is in, I believe he's in the 2 sequels immediately after this one. Correct me if I'm wrong. He is. But Liam Neeson is in the one that's out this year. I remember seeing information about that, but I didn't pay that much attention because obviously I hadn't seen the other films. And if I was going to watch it, I wanted to watch the other ones first. Now I'm in a difficult situation because I do like Liam Neeson. And I'm kind of curious to watch that one. I think I'll wait for the ratings to come in. If that one's very well received, I might then prioritise watching the other Naked Gun sequels and then watching the 4th one. I assume they don't necessarily need to be watched in order, but I could be wrong about that. But if I'm going to watch them. Either way, The Naked Gun was a good story, and I can absolutely see where the comedy is. Didn't fully appeal to my personal tastes, but Leslie Nielsen was brilliant, and in general, it's a good film, And if it seems like something that might appeal to you, then of course I'm happy to recommend it.